Hello, and welcome to volume 337. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and I'm glad to have you along for the ride. It is Friday, and as always, we wear red on Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. I can't show you the whole t-shirt. There we go. All right, we keep in mind all the time and pray all the time for our armed forces, all of our people in the service that are not here, and we pray that they will make it back safely. So on Friday, we wear red. Remember, everyone deployed. And I appreciate you guys doing that. All right, it's Friday, and kind of a, I don't know, special day, sort of. 5 years ago today, I received the telephone call from my urologist saying, hey, you got cancer. You have stage 3, Gleason 9, aggressive prostate cancer. And that was as I was sitting in a wheelchair being admitted to Orange Coast Memorial Hospital to have a suprapubic catheter installed in my abdomen so that I would be able to drain my bladder. 5 years ago today, man, in some ways, it has seemed like the longest 5 years ever. In other ways, the blink of an eye. It's just gone by so quick. And, you know, I thought about what to do with this video, and I think what I came up with is, rather than give you the whole history all in one video, I think what I'm going to do is break it up into a few of them, and I'll just kind of give you a little taste of what brought it on, how I got it started, and then I'm going to have a gratitude video, and I'm going to talk to you about all the things that have happened in my life because of cancer. And I will say this up front, and people tell me I'm crazy for this, but if you could take me back 5 years ago today and say, all right, Taz, here's the deal. You get to choose to do over again the next 5 years, knowing everything that I know now. Would you want to do it again with cancer or without? No hesitation. No hesitation with. Absolutely with cancer. I know that sounds weird and it's tough to explain, but that's what I'm going to do. Over the next several videos for this week, just going to kind of bring you up to speed for people that haven't been here since the beginning of the channel, tell you how this whole thing got started, tell you what I've done as far as diagnosis, as far as treatment, as far as coping with it, the changes that it's made in my life, and, you know, then wrap it up with gratitude and where I'm going to go from here. So, yeah, interesting. But anyways, this started 5 years ago. And I was looking at the calendar, and it's interesting. I do, fortunately, have a good habit of writing things on my calendar. I don't keep a diary. I don't keep a journal, which I wish so much I had. Everybody told me, you know, I should be writing this stuff down. Like, no, I'll remember it. I'll remember it. Not so much. But I do remember that it was a combination of things that had happened. One, I was having trouble urinating. I've always had a small bladder. My buddies that I go camping with always laugh. You know, everywhere we go, I got to stop and pee all the time. I just have never had a large bladder. Get up quite a few times during the night to pee. That's just been, you know, how my life is. I was used to it. But then it started to get to the point where it was happening really often. And I constantly felt like I had to pee. I wasn't emptying my bladder. So ever since 2017, I think it was, no, before that, I'm sorry, 2007. Ever since 2007, oh, am I getting this right? Yeah, 2007 is when I started seeing a doctor on a more regular basis than not. And then in 2017, I started getting a little more serious about things. I'm even screwing up on the date on that because 2016 was shoulder surgery. Yeah, so 2007 is when I started getting annual physicals. So anyways, sorry, hopefully the whole video is not going to be like that. But so going back to around 2007, started getting annual physicals. And so I went in to see Dr. Ateshi and got my annual physical. And I was telling him about the issue and said, hey, and I got some problems trying to urinate. Things aren't working the way that I think they should. And So he said, okay, well, we'll investigate that. And so I had been getting, gosh, I think he started checking me when I was maybe 55. I think around 55, he started checking for prostate cancer. We did the PSAs, and over a span of years, they had gone up a little bit, not a ton. And then they started to really jump up there. They started to, over a 6-month period, really rise. So he did the digital rectal exam on me, the DRE, and said, you know what, might want to go see a urologist. There's something nefarious going on. I asked him later, I said, hey, does nefarious mean I have cancer, but you can't tell me I have cancer because you're not the guy that tells me I have cancer? And he says, that's exactly what nefarious meant. So he referred me to, I didn't have a urologist. He referred me to a urologist who I went to meet with, and was extremely super nice guy, really nice guy. And he said, Dave, we'll get it figured out. We'll see what's going on. The problem kind of went into high gear at that point. Got to the point where I didn't want to leave the house. And just to give you an example of how things would work, I'd have to go to the grocery store. So I'd say, okay, I got to go. So the 10 minutes before I was going to go, I would pee as much as I possibly could. I'd keep going in, trying to pee, couldn't get much out of it. I had to do that thing where you just lean against the wall, take all the pressure off your bladder and see what I could get. And I'd run out to the truck, start the truck up, have that feeling I'm not going to make it. I got to run back in. I would do that probably 3 times, and then finally get in the truck, just grin and bear it, head to the grocery store, which is less than a mile away from my house. As soon as I was there, grab a cart, run in. First place I went, to the bathroom. I would go in there and pee, and then come out. I might get a couple of lanes done, put stuff in the grocery cart, and then run back to the bathroom and pee again. So I'd probably have a good 4 or 5 trips to the bathroom while I was there. And then I'd have to make the decision to go check out. And that was so frightening because, once you're in line, what am I going to do? I can't pick up all my groceries again and run back. So I would just bear it, and then get out, as soon as I'm done checking out, throw everything in the truck, run home before I brought the groceries in, and run in the house and pee. It was terrible. And it was getting to the point where I couldn't sleep, because every time I'd fall asleep, I would get that feeling, hey, you got to go pee. So that led to sleep deprivation, because this went on for a week. It was ridiculous. And the timing had been with the getting checked by my doctor and then being referred to the urologist. So I only had to wait about 2 days to get that appointment with the urologist, because my primary care, I love this guy, he called and said, hey, we got an issue going on. So went in, got checked, attempted to catheterize me, couldn't work. We couldn't get a catheter in there. Come to find out later, it wouldn't go in because of the prostate being so swollen from having cancer. We couldn't get that through. So I still couldn't. They did a sonogram. No, there's something else. Maybe it is sonogram, but they were figuring out how much urine I had in there, and I had a lot. I had like 200 milliliters in there. So he said, okay, we need to do a biopsy on you. So this is, they're kind of related. The 2 problems are related. At this point, I still didn't know I had cancer, but he said, we got to do a biopsy on you. So here, come tomorrow. Went and had the biopsy done on it. That was not fun. That did not go well. They were supposed to take 12 cores. We got 4. And I screamed so loud on the 4th one that he said, Mr. Graves, we're done. Sorry. I'm so sorry. And then we attempted to cath myself again. It didn't work. So he says, all right, come in tomorrow to the office. We're going to take one more attempt at cathing you and see what happens. So we went back in, and he just had to force it through. And I got to tell you, relief like that, I had never felt in my life. I lost like 20 pounds. And I mean, it just was amazing how much pressure was gone and how good I felt. I crashed that night. I finally slept. Of course, I still couldn't empty my bladder, so it filled up again overnight. And that's when he says, hey, we got to give you the suprapubic catheter. We're going to drill a hole through your gut, and we're going to go into your bladder, and then that's going to form a meat tube, and then we're going to slide a catheter in through there. You'll get it changed out every 30 days, and you'll pee into a bag. And that's how it's going to work. So 5 years ago today, Kelly took me down to Orange County Memorial, and I was sitting in the wheelchair. I was getting checked in to have that procedure done, to have the catheter put in. and my phone rang, and it was Dr. Bowie, so I answered it. And yeah, so he dropped the bomb on me and let me know that it was, at that point, it was stage 3. It was a Gleason 9, and extremely aggressive. And he said, we're going to start you immediately on Casodex, which was a oral type of, got to turn my phone off again, an oral type of chemo. And he says, and then we're going to put you on a drug called Lupron. And what it'll do is it'll block your testosterone. And that's what's feeding the prostate cancer. So I said, okay, you know, we'll get it all started. I went in to have the surgery done. And when I got out, complications ensued. And so what should have just been an outpatient thing, and I would have went home, ended up being a 4-day hospital stay. And that was the beginning of that. So yeah, that's where everything started. We had to start making plans. You know, how do we work this? What's going to be our line of treatment? And I'll get into that in the next video. But at any rate, 5 years ago today, that's where it started off. Man, just rocked my world, shook my, you know, I mean, it was crazy. You know, Kelly and I were in tears when we got the news. I had it on speakerphone, so she heard the same time I did. There were other people in the waiting room that were going to have work done at the hospital as well. And I'll never forget, as they were rolling me in, there was a big old dude sitting there, a big Hispanic guy with a Raiders jacket on, tough looking dude. And he looked at me as they rolled me by, and there's little tears coming out of his eyes. And, you know, I mean, what do? Somebody's just found out they got cancer. So everything runs through your head. And you're just like, I'm going to die. You know, you don't know because you haven't had any conversations about it. So yeah, that was the beginning of that. That was 5 years ago today. So anyways, I'm not going to say I'm going to celebrate it. I guess not, but just, you know, it's a milestone, 5 years. So look for some more videos coming up next couple of days. I'll run you through the story, get you caught up. Try not to go into too deep a detail. I just give you the cliff notes, and then I'm working on my gratitude video. But in the meantime, good news for you all. Right off the top of the bat, thank you so much for the prayers, for the good thoughts, for the positive energy, for everything that you guys have been sending Dennis's way. Dennis is home. As of today, he is home. He is out of the short-term care facility, and he's home. So he gets to sit in his own recliner. This is going to be amazing for him. If things are really going to step up, and he's going to be fine. Man, he's a tough old geezer. I think he's going to be fine. Let's keep those prayers going. Let's keep the Holy Spirit working on him, and get a speedy recovery, get him back to normal. But I thank you for all of the positive energy that you have sent his way. I did get a chance to talk to him on the phone. He was on our Zoom call for a short time. The Zoom call that he created was on there for a short time. We got a chance to see him, talk with him a little bit, you know. But as to be expected, the guy's weak. You know, it's going to take him a little while to get some energy back. But I'll keep you up to date on how he's doing. So just, man, glory be to God. I'm so jazzed. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I will be putting something out over the next couple of days. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel. I just happened to be looking at the analytics before I started recording on here. There's, I think, 567 subscribers on here. I've got, I don't know, 300, well, what is this? 337 videos that are on here. I really appreciate you guys watching. As always, I don't make any money off of this. The channel is not monetized. I do this because it's cathartic for me, and I love saying that. And hopefully it's helping some other people too, get some information out there. And I don't ask a lot, but I will remind you that anytime that you guys hit that like button on there, or you subscribe, or you comment, or you share these videos, or you hit the notification bell on there, any of those helps the algorithm for the channel. And the more there are changes in the algorithm, the more it's suggested by YouTube to other people. So the more guys would be able to find this channel. So I do greatly appreciate that. I appreciate all the prayers you guys give me, all the positive energy you send my way, the aloha, the shaka, the good juju, the mediocre juju, man, anything you guys want to send my way. Just the fact that you think about me during the day makes a difference. It sends a ripple out into the universe. And I can't tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate that. So I'm going to crank out another video sooner than I have been. Look for that in the next couple of days. And just know that I love every single one of you, and I'll talk to you on the next video.